What is up, YouTube? We have another trading recap for you guys today. Welcome. It's currently 9:47 p.m. Eastern Time, so this is Asia session as we speak right now. And yeah, I took a trade on gold. I only took one trade across both my funded accounts, both my funded futures and alpha trades. Both of them, the same trade on both accounts. We lost that trade, unfortunately. But I'm not mad, and you're gonna see why. But yeah, we lost 500. One trade a day. You're probably wondering did I trade gold? Um, if you've seen my previous videos, then you would know that I usually have classes on Fridays and Tuesday mornings, so I cannot trade New York morning session. So I try and trade my same system, not my NQ system, but a specific gold system. I try to trade, very simply put, every Tuesday night or every Monday night and every Thursday night for basically Asia session. So let's get right into it. So essentially, I'll first explain my system, and then I'll explain why I'm not mad. Right? Obviously, you can see this is the trade I lost. This is where I took it. You can ignore this for now. I will explain this, but this is the trade I took here. Now, probably wondering, looking at this, what could be my system considering looks like I entered, pretty early. Essentially, my system is, it's very simple on gold. Wait for the first presented fair value gap made in Asian session for gold. Wait for a retracement, tap into that, and just, go for a simple two to one RR and not do much about that. Not drag it. So as you can see here, obviously on the 5 minute, there was a fair value gap that was finalized at 6:50 p.m. I entered about up here as well and targeted a 2 to 1 with $500 worth of risk, obviously. As you can see, price technically hit that before stopping me out and coming into deep retracement. Now, to me, this is still a great trade. Now, I will say here my entry was poor. I entered a bit too prematurely actually on my account. Here I wrote this is what my proper trade entry is supposed to be. I'm supposed to enter off the rebound on the 1 minute out of this fair value gap, a positive rejection that respects the EMA as well. So this technically would have been an A plus per trade, but even with the A plus trade, I still would have been stopped out because this is still $500 worth of risk. A 7.2 point stop, roughly about $500 worth of risk when using 7 micros. I was trading 7 micros on funded. I always trade 7 micros. That's how I do it. Evals, I trade 1 minute. So yeah, so that unfortunately was a loss. And that's my system. First presented fair value gap, wait for respect of that fair value gap, and just go in that direction, 2 to 1. To be fair, I also had, interestingly enough, I had a bullish bias. I truly did have a bullish bias. Even though looking at this, a normal person would think bearish. No, I had a bullish bias because upon closure, we've seen kind of a reversal out of this area here. And after seeing that reversal, I was thinking, okay, this might be a new support, a support point for gold here. This area doesn't seem like it seems like it wants to be kept. So I wanted to see kind of gold trade upwards, and honestly, just zooming out, right? This just looks like an ordinary retracement, if anything, right? We can do the Fibonacci retracement. This is roughly around 78% of Fib to 80% retracement as well. So I will say that this is not, out of the ordinary per se in terms of price action. So I was bullish, and as you can see, I did take a long. Now, the point of this video, if you check the title, was to kind of like emphasize a little bit about risk management and why it's important. So looking at this, right, I had an A plus setup, right? Yes, my entry was poor, but I had an A plus setup. That was my strategy when the first value gap appeared. However, price didn't stop me out, but still went in the direction I wanted to go. A lot of immature traders, I want to use the word immature, naive, right? I don't mean in an insulting way, but more in a lack of experience way, would see something like this and tilt and over leverage. For an example, I can see a trader doing this, right? They enter here, they get stopped out, cool, right? Upon getting stopped out, they see this bounce again, they go long again, after being stopped out. Mind you, they know in their mind their daily loss limit. They have a one trade system or they have a daily loss limit. My daily loss limit was $500, which is also usually one trade because I risk $500, right? So whichever hits first stops me. Let's assume a trader has that type of system. They would have that system, they would lose $500, and they'll be like, you know what? But I'm right. I know I'm right. I know it's going to be long. They're going to see this push up again, enter for a long right here at this point, and get stopped out again. Now they've lost $1,000. Cool. Now they get stopped out in this area. They get stopped out in the fair value gap right here. Think, oh, okay, this fair value gap has been inversed, which it has truly. It's been inversed. Cool. Maybe it's time for shorts. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe a long isn't the right thing to do. They're gonna go short, right? They may not short up here. They might even short down here. And what happens? Their original bias was correct, and they get stopped out. And now they've, instead of lost 500 and gotten off, they've just lost 1,500, and they're $500 away from drawdown. Assuming you have a 50K account, $2,000 drawdown. So now they've just fucked themselves over for what? To prove to themselves that they were right about the market. I took this trade and I had it all set up. I had my set limit set up. I had my stop loss set up, and I just walked away from it. I went to do other things, distracted myself. It didn't hit cool, but I told myself, okay, I'm not gonna stay on the markets. I set my personal lockout. I walked out, went to practice, and while I'm in practice, I'm checking, okay, can I see if price actually went where it wanted to go? And it did. And my emotions are still fine. Why? Because I knew in the end, in the long run, in the overall bias, I was correct. I just didn't have enough capital to risk for this entire trade, right? Let's say someone's trading instead of said if I was trading 3 micros, right? If I was trading 3 micros, maybe I can risk all of this. But then my target would be way bigger and it probably would hit, as you can see. It probably would hit my target. But that's not my system. My system is 7 micros or it's $500. And so I wanted to kind of like bring that to your attention for full transparency because I don't want it to seem like, oh, my strategy is always perfect. Like the strategy I have for gold for Asia is very simple. It's not even, it's the first presented fair value gap. Like that's just, it's back tested to have a 60 to 70% win rate from the last 2 weeks. And that's just what I've been trading when I don't have time to trade New York AM. It's not that I want to trade, excuse me, it's not that I want to trade every day, but it makes it easier for me to trade every day, if that makes sense, right? So, you know, I hope you guys understand that it's risk management is important. It's how long you can survive the market. That's how you get your payouts, right? Another like let me show you the PN now here. 500, right? This is the first trade on the my funded futures funded account, not the alpha account. The alpha account has been through some ups and downs. If you see in the previous live trading recap from this morning, we are up about I think $500 on the account on that account. On this account, this is the first trade on my funded futures. On the first trade, I lost 500. Back then, when my psychology was shit, I would have been like, damn, I don't want to start off a new funded account with less than 500, like losing $500, right? Because I've passed the eval yesterday, or this, sorry, I passed it this morning, and then I took a trade today, or I mean tonight, and the first trade after upgrading is now a loss. That's cool. That's fine. And I'm not trading Friday. I'm not trading Saturday. So it's not open Saturday. Sunday, we're back again on Monday. It's no difference. Life continues, life moves on. I've preserved my capital for another day where I can trade NQ even better because I am a better NQ trader. Now I've saved my capital for a better opportunity, right? In fact, to me, the thing I'm thinking in my head, right? Oh, uh, uh, my psychology back then would have been like, oh, I shouldn't have traded Asia session. I should have just stuck to NQ. But I have won in Asia session, and I know I have won, so I'm not gonna regret that I took a trade now just because I lost. I lost. It's the same strategy. The same thing works. Nothing changes. It's a minor setback. And anyways, so we're looking forward to a payout hopefully by next week as well. You know, surprise, surprise. Hopefully we can get that fingers crossed as well. We've already met the 5 days, winning days. It's just the capital, and be honest, we'll see how that goes as well. So I just wanted to share some insight on the trade I took in Asia session. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.